Hey, good morning. It's Crystal Roy with the Safari Group, and I'm here to talk to you today about how your credit score is calculated. And also, got great news if you have any graduates who are graduating from college this May, June time frame about how I can help them buy a home. All right. So we've got 5 determining factors about how your credit score is calculated. So we'll go over that. So types of credit, new accounts, length of the history of those accounts, payment history, and then the actual amount you owe. So let's talk a little bit in detail about those. So there are different types of credit. Now, I've only occasionally had someone who actually refused any credit cards or anything at all like that. Now, eventually he did buy a home, but we had to do what was called alternate lines of credit. So no credit is not the same as bad credit. That's different. He had no credit because he chose not to use credit cards, and things of that nature. Didn't have a car payment. Okay. So the different types of credit include a car loan, a store credit card, and other things like this that help your score, right? One of the best ways to boost your credit score is to actually get a secured credit card from your bank that reports to all 3 credit reporting agencies. So if you want to go into your bank and ask for a card, make sure that it does report to all 3 credit reporting agencies, TransUnion, Equifax, and so on, right? And then what you're going to do is, with your next paycheck, you take $300 and you deposit it in your bank against that credit card. They're going to give you a credit card with a $300 limit, and then you're going to use it on the regular things you would have already spent the $300 on, like groceries, gas, things like that. And then at the end of the month, let's say that the credit card payment is due on the 28th. You want to go in, maybe online if you're going to bank that way. You want to pay off the entire amount that you have charged by, say, the 25th, sometime before the due date. Now, I saw one person in particular's credit score literally jump 64 points in 30 days using this technique. So that's one of the ways that you use credit card. All right? And we'll talk a little bit more under payment history about a strategy to pay as well. Okay? The types of credit, like the credit card, the car payment, those kinds of things account for about 10% of your score. So that's having it and paying it on time, right? Next is new accounts. So opening up too many new accounts in a short time frame actually lowers your score. So you want to make sure that you're being smart about strategies of opening new accounts. Now, if you're actively seeking a mortgage right now and you're going to close in the next 30 to 60 days, and you go into a department store like Dillard or Belk or Macy's, Nordstrom, and they offer you TJ Maxx, and they offer you 10% off if you apply for their credit card right there at the register, don't do it, because it's going to be a hit to your credit score. It will take it down. Every time there's an inquiry, it reduces your score. So leave those kinds of credit inquiries till after you've closed on your purchase. These new accounts that you may open account for 10% of your score. Okay? Now, length of history. Longer history of paying back what you owe improves your score. So, for example, one of my credit cards I've had for like 30 years, and that's a huge boost to my score. I've had it, I've used it. It's a department store, and I probably got it at the first opportunity when this store came to town, and just got it there at the register. I wasn't in the process of getting a mortgage or refinancing, and that single credit card has helped to really significantly boost my score. So the length of history for all of your cards accounts for about 15% of your credit score, okay? The next category is actually the amount you owe or utilization. How are you using your cards, right? Less is more. Lowering debt can be key to a better credit score. So we want to always have the goal. Let's say if you have, I'm going to use a round number like $1,000. Let's say you have a credit card with $1,000 limit. You want to keep any carried balance on that credit card under $300 or so. So close to a third, right, of the actual balance. If you're carrying $900 on a $1,000 credit card, that utilization is actually going to lower your score, because the way banking and the way the credit industry sees a credit card is that $1,000 credit card with $1,000 limit and a zero balance is a very large parachute in case of emergency. But if you have already a $900 balance on a $1,000 credit card, your parachute is very low. It's only $100. So that could actually hit your credit score and cause 30% of damage, because the amount you owe actually contributes 30% to your overall score. So if you have multiple credit cards, you might want to rotate them out. Like, don't get to maximum balance on anything. Now, we do know there are emergencies. There are real emergencies. Like, you might have lost your job. You need to keep your cash because you need to pay your mortgage payment. So you are going to utilize those credit cards more for a short, definite or finite period of time until you get your regular paychecks again, and then you're going to be having huge chunks to pay down that credit card debt. But they are there for emergency purposes. Then payment history, right? So how you pay contributes 35% to your overall credit score. And that's how, if you have a late payment, it can ding 30, 60, 90 points off of your credit score if you pay late, because payment history is super, super important. So always pay your bills, always pay on time. Late payments significantly hurt your credit score. Now, here's a quick strategy. If you do get into a tight month and you can only pay minimum balances, you go in and you pay your minimum balance on time, and then 1 or 2 days later, send an additional $5 on all of your credit cards. That shows you're making more than one payment in a month, and that actually boosts your score. And it's just $5. So that means you're going to cut back on something somewhere else for $5 times the number of credit cards, so it can help boost your score. So I hope that was informational for you today. If you have any questions, I'm Crystal Roy with the Safari Group. I would love to help you with anything related to credit score, boosting your credit score, strategies to increase your credit score. I do have connections to great companies who help to clean up your credit score. That's going to be super, super important when it comes time to buy a home. Okay, so let's talk about college students for a moment. They may have no credit or limited credit, but if they are also paying their own, for example, cell phone bill, that could be an alternate line of credit that can show that they are able to pay what they owe, right? And here's great news, moms and dads who have kids coming back from college. And for the college students themselves who have worked so hard, they've been dedicated, they've been disciplined, they've graduated from college, they've gotten a job in their field, and now they want to buy a home, right? Lenders actually will take their 4 or more years in college in their field when they get employed in their field as 4 years of work experience. Isn't that awesome? So go ahead and start encouraging your students that when they get work in their field, that they are able to go ahead and apply and very quickly be approved for a home loan. And great additional news in North Carolina and in South Carolina, where I'm licensed. In North Carolina, we have down payment assistance if they've not had a home deeded in their name the last 3 years, where they actually can get up to $15,000 and down payment assistance, which means they don't have a lot of down payment costs. And depending upon the cost price point of the home, that $15,000 can even perhaps pay toward their closing costs. So they may come very little out of pocket, like a couple $1,000s. All right, you guys have a great day. Again, it's Crystal Roy with the Safari Group. Call me if I can help you with anything at all, and have a great day. Bye-bye.